Hello, my fellow super builders. We have finally done it. We have implemented Superbase Realtime. Now, if you remember, this was our mission for this week. Use Superbase Realtime to draw, relate, raise location, and path. We haven't done the path. Okay, this we have to do next. But okay, let me show you this. So. Here we're waiting for updates. Now I'm, in my app here, in my Telegram bot, I select location and I share my live location for 15 minutes. So it's sharing live now. And so you can see the location events coming in here. So that's the lat and long coming in. And so we're here in Singapore in the WeWork downtown Singapore. And so now as I'm moving through the room here, obviously this is indoors, so like it's not super accurate, but like as I'm moving, it's updating my location and it's updating the marker on the map. So that is exactly what we wanted. Yes. Fantastic. And so we can, let me stop this live location sharing. So we can dive into the code here, use Superbase Realtime. And really, it's pretty easy. So again, here, if you haven't checked out last week, you can check up on that. We're just using MapLibre with Protomaps and the PM tiles protocol. So we're basically just doing here, we're having a locations state variable, and we're just tracking. So basically for every user, we're tracking the current location, and here we're using the database type, so that I've added in the database types, and so for now I'm not fetching the route. So basically, in the next step would be to fetch the current route that we have in the database, and then basically update that route with the live location kind of as the race is progressing. But Superbase Realtime was super easy, important. It needs to be a client component, which it needs to be anyway for the map. And then we are creating a browser client here. So the create client is coming in from our here Superbase client. So that's a browser client, and we're feeding in the database types. And then we're just saying Superbase, we're using the real-time channel, which is the schema database changes. And then we're just saying on Postgres changes, and specifically on inserting. So, you remember we have an edge function. Anytime our location updates in Telegram, we trigger that edge function, we write a new row to the locations database. Now we're listening to the locations table on the public schema. And then important, we're filtering for our event ID. So basically on the real-time map, we just have our event ID here. And so that's basically then what, people that are racing in this event, they can just share this link with their loved ones, and then, everyone can follow along with the race. Okay, so we're basically doing that. And then as we're, coming in with the payload, so the payload new is our table location. And then we're basically just updating our locations. And specifically, we're just overwriting the user ID. We're using the user ID as a string key. And we're just updating the location, and then here console logging out and setting the location in our state variable. And so now this is really cool. So we're using remember React, we're using React Map GL, which is a really, really cool open source project. Actually, kudos to the folks maintaining that. Really nice. And then, I need to update this to set this dynamically. but for now, just setting this to like downtown Singapore here. Using my Protomaps. And so basically then here for every entry in our locations object, the key is the user ID. We're then painting the marker onto the map. And this is really cool. So React Map takes care of everything. So as our state updates and, the value updates here, it then updates the marker on the map, which honestly, amazing, right? Like for that to be so easy, really, really cool. And now obviously then I'll need to, assign different colors based on the team. Or the person who is, there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That is the real-time map. Now, one more thing that I did, which was pretty cool. So if you remember, kind of, we had our location path. So we're basically creating a view where we're taking all the locations, we're ordering them by the created at timestamp as a path geometry. So we can then, later kind of use that for further processing. And then PostGIS has another really cool thing, which is as Geojson. So we can basically render our line geometry here as Geojson, which is really handy because Geojson is what is being used. So you can see that here. Basically, it is creating our GeoJSON type line string and then the coordinates. And so that is the format that we basically need to use to sort of draw our path on the map. So if we're, for example, looking here, we have a map. So this is an event that has finished. And then we just want to draw kind of all the locations onto the map as a line path. And so the way we can do this is this. Now we have this in our locations path view. And then we can go here. We've updated our map. So I've updated our map here as well to use React Map GL. And what we can do here then is we have our map, and we're basically again here for, let me show you, we're loading our paths, and basically here now we're just fetching the user ID and the GeoJSON because that's what we need to draw the path onto the map. And we're putting that into a state variable, again here, paths. And then basically once we have our paths, we then draw the source layer on top. And important, we need to assign the unique keys and the unique IDs for both the source and the layer. So here, the layer style, we also need to assign the unique ID. But then the cool thing is basically we can just say the source is of type GeoJSON, and then we just put in the data with the geometry, and we can just parse our GeoJSON, which is returned as a string. We just parse that as a JSON, and now we have our GeoJSON, and we can just draw it onto the map. So again, PostGIS incredibly powerful here, and so we just written a simple migration. One learning maybe as well, you can't update a view with another column. What you have to do is basically you have to replace the view. So that's what we're doing here in the migration to have our GeoJSON. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, remember, if you're building something with Superbase and you want to hold yourself accountable, join the Super Builders movement. Building public super builders, weekly update videos. For me, it really has helped me keep myself accountable. And now, week 6, we've made some good progress. Now, up next, I think basically just clean this up. There's a bunch of to-dos that we had to do, clean up to-dos. But then also, we still need to combine path with live location so that we can have that. And then basically a bunch of like user management, like enable the multi-user stuff, and then actually test in an actual race. Now, I probably won't have an actual race next week, but I'll maybe just do it at training, and then see, when we have multiple users, multi-user, we actually need to collect team name. That's something I'm not doing at the moment. And I think then we can have this, up and running for a race. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what you're building on as well, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.